Hello, everybody. Thank you so much for watching. This is week 2 of me trying to be unemployed and be a full-time artist. And it's not really me being unemployed because I'm actually wrapping up like my 3 weeks with my job. I actually got my official last day today. It's going to be November 21st. So just about 2 more weeks left in my actual job. It's not a lot of actual day-to-day work. It's kind of just buttoning things up and making sure it's all kind of ready for whoever comes next. Not really the point. Today marks 2 weeks of me doing this, and you know, it's actually been, for as scary as it is, it's been great in the fact that if you need to get a lot of stuff done, videoing yourself every day and having to actually have proof of you doing it, it makes you do so much more work. I genuinely think I have worked more on my photography, my creative stuff, and my art than I ever have in my entire life. And it's just because, again, I'm pointing a camera at myself and saying, look, I'm doing this. And how's it going actually numbers-wise? Like, could we live off of it? Oh, hell no. We're not that close. On YouTube is probably my most preferred platform. In 2 weeks, we've done about 100 subscribers a week there, which actually really isn't that bad considering that nothing has gone viral. Not even close to enough to live on. For frame of reference, like just doing a little bit of research, not spending too much time on it, because the thing about YouTube is the numbers really matter on like how much your stuff's long form, what category do you do, and stuff like that. I feel pretty confident that if I could get to about 50,000 subscribers and keep a pretty regular stream of long form content, I could do okay. I don't think that's going to happen overnight. I don't think that's going to happen before November 21st. So I definitely have to consider, even if that is the final goal, what I am going to do to keep myself alive. And there's a couple things. Obviously, savings are always something you can dive into. I have looked at like part-time jobs, and I know it's rough out there because I was actually looking at doing like Uber, not like Uber because my car's too old, but like DoorDash, stuff like that, just like gig work. And I cannot believe how many of them I applied and they're like, actually, we've had a lot of applicants, so you're waitlisted. So I'm like, oh, that's rough. And I think everyone's in the same boat of, I just got laid off. I'll go deliver food on the weekends and that's how I'll pay my bills in the meantime. Not seeming like it's gonna be a quick solution for me. The only jobs that I see hiring urgently in my area is genuinely Jersey Mike's and Golden Corral. Those are my 2 options. But they both pay minimum wage, which means I would make less working there. It'd probably be about a wash, is like going on unemployment. And I could go on unemployment, which I actually have the benefits with the state of Colorado. I could do that. But going on unemployment, for anyone who's never had to do that, I've never had to do that, you're essentially telling the state that, hey, I'm trying to get back into the workforce. I'm trying to get a full-time job, which isn't necessarily my goal, but I'd also rather have a job and pay my bills and not lose my life. Not like lose my life, but lose my quality of life. And it's not that I'm willing to not take a quality of life hit. It's that the end goal is to be an artist. So like going to be an accountant doesn't necessarily make a ton of sense unless it's really just to perpetuate the ultimate goal. Really the things I want to focus on, and I think where it's hard, and I was talking about this a little last week, and the funniest thing about going from last week to this week is really just how shell-shocked I feel like I was last week. Like I genuinely was like running around just trying to figure everything out, and like I was like a dog chasing cars. And I still feel a little bit like that, but it's definitely not as bad. In the fact that I think I really need to lock in on picking video ideas that can actually get somewhere. And the truth is, what's hard is that there are things I'd like to do. Like I'd like to do more vlogs, but that'd mean like going on road trips. Or I'd like to do like more photo books or more like full-fledged projects. But it's kind of hard when your level of funding and capital is 0. And like, how do I pay rent, let alone how do I like go on a road trip and document it? And, you know, obviously that's the risk with anything. So I'm really trying to focus on projects I can kind of do in my local area. And I'm blessed to be in an area where it's pretty beautiful and pretty doable. But I think I need to focus on things that can actually do well, because YouTube is great. I do also want to be a photographer. I really, we're about to announce the calendar and prints and stuff like that. I'm relaunching my print shop. That should be pretty awesome. It's really just building it out. I mean, in my honest to God truth, considering how well I've done and we haven't even gone viral, I really think if I stuck with this for 6 months to a year, I really think we could be somewhere. I don't think it's a matter of I'm not good enough. I think it's a matter of how many months can you give yourself and how big will the payoff even be? And I don't know. It's wonderful that my partner really believes in me and that we've really just been going after this. I'm not like opposed to getting another job. Like it's not that I'm like too good for working, or it's just, it's really a debate of, is this the time to sink all your chips and go all in, or should I get a new hand and, look again in like a year? Because there's a level of, a lot of people are not doing very well right now. And it's like, okay, well, my print sales probably won't do phenomenal if no one else has money, because that's not really, you need consumers. And I think that's why I've really tried to focus on YouTube, is because that's just people's time and it's free viewership. And I like to think that my videos provide some sort of value to people. It's really just one puzzle piece of a larger ultimate goal for what I'd like to be doing. I don't, the truth is though, I don't really know. And I think one thing I always try to really be really open about is that I don't necessarily know what I want to do. Like for a long time, I was like, I want to be a National Geographic photographer. But it's like, okay, well, I'd let go of that if it's like, it could be YouTube, or like, this is just a joke. But I'm like, I could be a musician. Like, I don't think I actually know where I'm going to land. And I'm really open to any possibility and like the journey between here and there, and just like what that could be. And I just know that I really love to create stuff, and I really love to express myself, and I really like to make things that help people get through hard times, or, inform them, or anything like that, provide some sort of value, whether it's emotional, whatever, entertainment, even at the lowest common denominator. I don't know. Sorry, this is just kind of raw. I kind of sit down. I seriously just write like 2 or 3 bullet points and I sit down and talk. Week 2 feels better. Can I tell you the best part about doing this stuff, especially like making content all the time, is it's really starting to feel comfortable. I like sitting down to record this was seriously so easy and so chill, and I didn't even have to think about it. Whereas like a couple weeks ago to a couple months ago, I'd have to like psych myself up, and then I'd have like 17 takes for everything. Recording the iPad video the other day, that's the fastest video I've ever recorded. Is it the best video I did? No, but I think that's because I just made it and I kind of hate anything I just made. That's more of a self-doubt issue, not necessarily like a barrier of entry issue or a friction issue. I don't want this to go too long. I really think it's, at the very least, even if I go back to getting a job, I feel like I've really made peace with just like sitting down, recording, making something that it just feels so smooth. Like, I don't know how to explain it. Like I feel like I used to post so rarely that I'd like have to like really sit and think and like look at all the screens and like all the stuff and what it means. And now I can be like, oh, like post, it's up. Like we did it. Like, all right, finally I can move on to the next thing. This is what I'll say. I feel the best I've ever felt from a creative standpoint and like working up to like what I think I could ultimately get to. I am really scared because I have 2 more paychecks coming. So like December rent is probably the last month of rent that I feel like confident covering. And I don't know how I'm going to replace that because things look pretty rough all around. But the final thing I'll say though is like art is always the end goal. Art, like that's even if I have a day job, like I really liked about my last job that I had the flexibility and kind of the allowance to have enough time in my day that like making stuff wasn't as killer as like past jobs I had where it's like I came home and I was so tired I pretty much just ate and went to bed. It's scary times, but I'll tell you, week 2 checking in, the numbers are continuing to grow. We haven't gone viral yet, which is whatever. Like that's just time. That's just buying a lottery ticket every day. Eventually it's going to happen. And second, we're just going to keep grinding. I don't know. I feel good. I feel like we could really turn this into something. It's just a lot of puzzle pieces and which ones to sort out and put down first and try and figure out. But I think we're going to do it. There's no real path other than to just sit down and slog through it and figure it out. And then just being open to any opportunities, like maybe like YouTube isn't it, and that's fine. Like that's fine. Maybe I get into commission stuff. And historically, I haven't loved commission stuff. This will be my last rant. Commission stuff's great. And I've worked commission jobs I really like. Like I have wedding clients I still talk to. I have businesses that still check in on me every once in a while. it's really rough getting new clients and kind of that just interaction of being like, what's the most you're willing to do for the least amount of money? And then it's also just like a lot of hours of outreach, especially like where I'm at. I don't have a regular client base that like could sustain me financially. It's and it's also just not my preferred method. Like, I don't know. Like, honestly, I don't want to go as far as to say I'd rather have a day job, but like, it's just not, that's not what I love about art. And sometimes I feel like that's actually the stuff that takes the joy out of my art. Like working on my calendar or like even doing a video when I don't feel like editing, I don't feel like that takes the joy out of art. Whereas like shooting photos for like a life insurance commercial, like I feel like that does. Okay, that's it. Week 2, the numbers have been growing steadily. We put on about another 100 subscribers, probably about another 50 on TikTok. And then Instagram is Instagram, so we have not moved really at all. I think we're at maybe 10. Instagram is by far one of the slowest places to grow these days, I feel like. I really want to cut the video off. It's over. I feel like we're already probably over 10 minutes. I'm really sorry. Thank you so much for watching, for checking in. I don't even really know who these videos are for. I don't even know or if I expect them to do well in the moment. It's that I would like to look back at these and be like, this is when I was terrified. This is where it felt like I was in free fall. And we ended up somewhere and it was all good and it was all okay. And we can, I can just document like the last week was kind of pure terror. This week, it's like, here's all the pieces. Let's make the most informed decision we can. And no matter what, just keep going and keep trying and keep giving it your best and never become cynical or jaded or like never become hateful, I guess. Like just keep that loving, happy spirit, keep working. And I don't know. I think it'll all be okay. Thank you so much for watching. Till next week. Cheers.